That's right.
Yeah. Playoffs full effect. Round 2 has started.
Moving on.
Moving on.
But before we get to that point, we are talking NBA awards. Dave's going to give us a little update. Who's winning stuff.
Yeah, the awards have already been announced for the most part. Granted, we're doing this on Tuesday, so we have one more left. But Rookie of the Year, Victor Wembanyama.
No surprise.
No surprise at all.
That's what should happen when you're number 1 pick. Unanimous, though.
Yeah, unanimous. What is that like? I don't think that was the second or third time it was unanimous.
That I don't know.
Okay. It was not as common. You got the Kia sixth man, Naz Reid.
That's right.
The fellas. That's always good to see. Been playing very well too, so it's good to see. You can finally get some recognition.
I'm glad that he won that. It was one of the closest 6-man races.
Ever?
Yeah, because did you see the scoring?
No.
Yeah, click the scoring. Give us a full breakdown. It was literally like the difference was 2 first place votes or something.
Malik Monk. Yeah, 2 first place. They had the same amount of second place, same amount of third place. He had 45 first place, and Malik Monk had 43.
That was the difference.
So, what would have happened if they would have just tied? Like, both of them would have got 44 first place votes. Do you know? I don't know what happened. I guess.
Don't know.
I don't know. And who votes for these?
Do you think they would do co-6-man
Ugh, that'd be gross.
winners?
That'd be gross.
I honestly think they probably would.
I think they would, but I just think that's gross.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
I don't like it
I'm
either.
glad we didn't have to deal with that.
Yeah. Then you got the Kia Most Improved. You got Tyrese Maxey. Had a pretty good playoff series. Kind of kept him in it, to be honest.
Yeah, who got second in that one?
Most Improved Player, Kobe White.
Okay.
Also a very good player, to be honest. Had a very good season for the Bulls.
That was a 2-horse race as well.
Yeah, a lot of these I feel like are 2-horse races. That's some that were close. I mean, Rookie of the Year was obviously.
There's a few that are just not even close.
Yeah, you had the Clutch Player of the Year.
Okay.
Steph Curry took it over DeMar DeRozan. That was actually decently close as well.
How close are you talking?
We're talking 26 points, which in relativity, not terrible. You get 5 points for a first place vote, 3 points second place, 1 point third place.
Okay.
He actually had more second place and third place votes, but it came in second.
Yeah, that is true.
You got the Coach of the Year. I'm probably going to mess this last name up.
Let's hear it.
Mark Daignault.
There we go.
Is that how you say it?
Say it.
Daignault.
Daignault. Yeah.
Oklahoma City Thunder coach.
Good job.
Obviously, first place in the West.
Mm-hmm.
Probably deserved it. Young team. 89 first place votes. Some would say that one was not close.
Not close at all. No.
So, then you got
third place for the Wolves guy.
Yeah. Then you got Executive of the Year. I didn't know this was actually a thing.
Yeah.
Does it just go to the best team guy? Brad Stevens. I feel like he's won it in the past.
I believe he probably has. But the difference with that is only executive. It's either only executives or only GMs are voting.
Yeah.
So the other ones are voted on by the media, which is like, this is ridiculous how some of these people have votes and some of these people don't. But for the GM of the year, or executive of the year?
Executive of the Year.
The executive of the year, that's actually like
legit.
I don't know if it's GM or executives, but that's like basically one person per team.
So you're basically getting the respect of all the other executives.
Of your coworkers.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
that one is actually, like, not to say that any of the rest of them are like too crazily off, but it might be a swing of first and second place or whatever. But that one, at least, people that are voting know what they're talking about.
Yeah, respect the position.
Mm-hmm.
You got Teammate of the Year, also going back to the T-Wolves. You got Mike Conley.
Love it.
The people love him.
What is that, second time that he's won it?
Yep, second time. And then
I wonder who got who does it show who got second place in that?
I mean, so these are all voted by This doesn't even have a breakdown.
Oh, finalists.
Panel
So what is it,
selected
just
executive
one
selected
player
12
every-
finalists, 6 from each conference for
Okay.
the Teammate of the Year award.
Can you list off some of the other ones that were finalists?
So you got Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, TJ McConnell, George Niang, Al Horford. So it kind of seems like guys who
Are older,
Well, Jalen Brunson, yeah, they're older and kind of more of a leader type probably on their team.
veteran presence.
Yeah. Jalen Williams, Dwight Powell. You know who the last
Jalen Williams is a surprise on there.
Yeah.
He just seems younger and not as much like, oh yeah, he's just like
The voice.
sticking around and hanging out with the fellas, making sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, never know. Marquez Fultz, also younger. A little bit. Markel Fultz.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know who the last Timberwolf was to win it?
If I had to guess, I don't know the answer, but if I had to guess, maybe Wally Zerbiak.
Jamal Crawford. 2017, 2018.
Really?
That's what it said.
I would never guess that
So
in a million years.
then you got the Hustle Award went to Alex Caruso.
Okay.
It's an interesting award.
What do you think the criteria is for that?
Well, I saw down here it's based off of tips, deflections, loose balls, charges, everything like that. Box outs.
Box outs, they're included.
Box outs. So
Yeah.
the average is 0.0142 box outs per minute. That's 88th ranked.
And 0.4 box outs per game. He's not even averaging one full box out a game.
Nope. So
What?
that obviously didn't take too much criteria.
How is that a stat that they're actually like counting towards an award?
I feel like loose balls recovered.
I'm
Okay.
like, look at
Charges, Contested shots is good.
Shots. I
Deflections.
I thought that was somebody else's box out number. I was like, how is this, bro? When
This is
somebody
all
else
Caruso's.
is boxing out 5 people per game.
But what's crazy is he's the first in
0.4?
deflections, 5th in loose balls, 7th in charges drawn, but then he's 60th, 61st, and 89th.
I wonder who's getting number 1 box out guy in the league.
Probably has to be a big guy, right?
Maybe I'll look that up for us.
Yeah. So the Hustle Awards finalists were Grant Williams, Scotty Barnes, Brandon Podziemski, and Lou Dort.
Player box outs.
There's no way that someone is tracking that BS.
NBA advanced stats on literally NBA.com. Box outs. Yusuf Nurkic, 3.4 box outs per game. He led the league.
That's crazy. So, like, I
It's
wonder
all
what
centers.
what's the
top.
criteria? You just have to touch a guy and box. Like, what? Like, just when the shot goes up, you just box him out?
Thank you for detailing that a little further. I guess put your butt into him and
So they're saying that he averages 3.4 a game, and he's a big guy down low, and he gets 10 to 15 rebounds a game, and he's only boxing out 3.4.
3.4 box outs per game.
What a wild statistic!
He's got 1.3 offensive box outs. Per game.
Oh, okay. What's crazy is, so do you think
What?
the person that tracks that knows going to the game? They're like, I get to track box outs, or do you think it's like a punishment? You were late to work 3 days. You're doing box.
It almost feels like a stat that
is made up.
is probably done like after the fact. Like nobody cares about seeing box outs on the stat sheet when you're
Right.
going to the post game press conference.
Do you think it's on the sheet? You know, when coaches get that sheet in between like timeouts, do you think box outs is on there?
No, I mean these.
I didn't even know it was a real stat.
The top guy is 3.4 for the whole game.
Yeah, I think it's made up.
Oh, he got it at the end of the first quarter. He's at 1. He's ahead of pace.
I wonder how you get. Yeah, how you don't have a full number.
Well, that's the average for the year.
Oh, but I'm just saying. So
So if
yeah,
you
I
had,
guess.
If
So
you
you're
had,
saying like if you average, so like if you get a.
if you had 2 and 3, then that would be your averaging.
So right
2.5.
there, Tristan Thompson. That's a box out. That's 1 point. Right, he touched the guy, boxed him out when the shot went up.
It's got to be contact with
Whoa,
your
whoa, whoa.
backside and like looking up at the rim. I don't know.
I don't know. And your team has to maybe get the rebound. I don't know. Interesting. Anyways, second to last award.
There's also team rebounds on box outs.
But it's like the same guys.
Player rebound. So Nurkic is averaging 2.3 player rebounds on times that he boxes out. So out of the 3.4 box outs, he's averaging 2.3 rebounds on those tries. This is a new stat that I never knew was a thing. All right, anyways.
Yeah, when you go to the next game, you're going to have to track them.
I don't know if I will be able to, but that's okay.
Defensive Player of the Year went to Rudy Gobert. Some would say most overrated player in the game today.
That's what people
are voted on by some of his peers and stuff. So crazy that he won Defensive Player of the Year. And also, his partner just had a baby, so congrats to that.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out. Welcome back. Very exciting. He's got that dad strength now.
Yeah.
It's like a real thing.
Extra strength.
Yeah. So, and then MVP will be announced. We're doing this Tuesday, obviously. Will be on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty much set in stone.
Pretty much, yes.
Is Jokic. Nikola Jokic. Again, what is that in a row? Or is that his second in a row?
No, but it's his
third. Third? Who won it last year?
Embiid.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. It's like same guys every year. That's okay.
Because, I mean, can you imagine if Jokic won it last year and he would go 4 in a row?
Ugh, that'd be horrible.
That would be horrible.
I feel like that's like one of those things where it's like, okay, if you get a guy, I mean, even 3 and 4 years is still like, all right, let's get some, what's the word here? Parity? Is that the right word?
Yeah, probably.
Is parity?
Mm-hmm.
Like some change in the league? Like, there's got to be other players that deserve it. I know he has great stats, but...
Parity would mean that there's just a more level playing field.
Yeah, more level playing field. I just think 3 out of 4 is still a lot, too. But... I don't decide. I don't vote.
You don't have a vote?
So there it is.
Work on that.
Yeah, I don't know if my line of business will ever get a vote. But if I do...
You're saying this?
That's what I'm saying. This isn't my line of business, unfortunately. But this might. Shout out. I mean, Adam Silver, hit us up. We'll take a vote.
That's right. I feel like we pay attention more than some of people.
Some of these people that probably voted probably
have no idea what they're saying.
Probably. Mm-hmm. So... There you go.
We make an informed decision. It could be a partner vote.
Between
the two of us.
Sippin' Sports could be one vote.
That's right.
So, there you go. Maybe we'll have to tag them in our next post.
Yeah, right. Just a little clip of this video.
Yeah, clip this. But that's all the awards for this year. Now we're rolling. Rolling with the playoffs.
Back talking playoffs. Fully into the second round. We're talking individual players today.
We're doing a little different.
So we're gonna kind of bounce around the second round. There's some teams that are like barely hanging on
already.
Yeah, like they got to the second round, and we've all been there. Well, not us, because this is the first time ever, pretty much.
Yeah, I would say
seems.
I would say probably we're in the minority for that.
Yeah, but sometimes it just seems like, all right, we're happy to win the first round. You get to the second round, then it's like, all right, tap me out.
Yeah, we're good. We got our shine. We competed.
Yep.
We were on national television. We
didn't have it this year.
Yeah. Teams are just better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will say probably for the most part, I mean, the majority of years, it feels like if we were just to win a few games, if we made it to the playoffs and we won a few games or won that series, that was like huge.
Yeah, a playoff series win. Unless you're like one of the 3 to 4 teams that actually have a chance at winning the playoffs or winning the finals, then, I mean, let's win a series.
Yeah, let's show what we can do. Compete a little bit. Yeah. So, there you go. Get a little bit more TV time.
Who is one player that you've seen throughout the first round, maybe in the first game of the second round, that has been like, ooh, man, this guy's dominating?
Dominating?
Yep.
I think right now I would have to go with the Celtics' Derek White. Right. I think even after the first round, he's played out of his mind. The difference with him, or the difference with the Celtics, is they have obviously the 1-2 punch in Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. I think we've both decided, and especially after this first game against the Cavaliers, this series will be over before we know it.
Mm-hmm. Are you saying sweep?
I'm saying sweep,
Me too.
Especially after this one. But the difference is now you don't even need you lose Porzingis, which, okay. But then the reality is like with Derek White playing at the level he is, you don't even need Jason Tatum to be as superior as Jason Tatum is.
Right.
Jaylen Brown, sure, but it's like Jaylen Brown's off, Jason Tatum might be off. Well, Derek White might score. He seems like he's scoring 25 to 30 every game.
He's been doing it.
So he's just been hot even from the first series. And I mean, obviously, we said this from the get go. They're the team obviously to beat, and they probably have a walk to at least the Eastern
NBA
Conference Finals or the NBA Finals. Yeah. The
NBA.
Porzingis injury kind of put a little but now it's like, all right.
We've said
they
it.
got guys that
we both said it. They're in the finals.
Yeah. I think it's more surprising that they even
NBA
lost
finals.
a game to the Heat. I think that was even more shocking. So
Yeah.
I don't think that'll happen in this series. I think they'll take care of business.
Unfortunately, in this series, the one player that has been scoring a lot is Donovan Mitchell.
Has to.
The reason why is Darius Garland stinks. Jared Allen is out. So literally Donovan Mitchell, I mean, I said this before we started. He's scoring about half of their points, like the overall point total for the game. He's scoring about half of them, and it's still most nights not enough.
No.
That's the issue. And then even if you're scoring 100 points, that means he's got to score around 50 to even have a chance to win.
Yeah, and I think the hard part
because nobody else can score.
Yeah, no one else can score, and obviously the Jared Allen injury is pretty tough for them, especially against this dominant Celtics team. It's just if he scores 30 to 35, which is fantastic, you're going to have a guy on the Celtics score at least 30, so that basically washes each other out.
Or three guys in the mid-20s.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, who's the next guy for this Cavaliers team? And right now, there's literally nobody.
It should be Darius Garland, but he's playing awful.
He's a bum. Being a bum. Jared Allen, I mean, and doesn't sound like we said this off air. It doesn't sound like he's coming back anytime soon, so.
Yeah.
Like we said, quick series. Obviously, they took care of business against Orlando, which was actually a lot better series than I think we thought, but.
It was.
So.
Yes.
My next player, I think that is. Well, I said this last week for the hometown T-Wolves, and it kind of came true. Cat, if Cat consistently plays at this high level, it will be very difficult to beat this Timberwolves team because he can stretch the floor so much, and he just needs to stay out of foul trouble. The first game, kind of got himself in a few dumb fouls, just being dumb.
He does that all the time.
Right, but then the second game, he kind of played with a little bit more, I don't want to say anger, but there's a few plays where it almost was like going back to old Cat where he just kind of put his shoulder down. It's like, that could have been a charge, but it wasn't called, which is fine. It wasn't called, so it wasn't a charge.
That's right.
But I think in game one, he had 3 consecutive, what are they called, like series, and he got fouled. Possessions, and he got fouls all in all 3, and then he went to the bench. Well, and it was like...
There are times that he literally, it seems like he's trying to get a foul, which...
On defense, you're saying? Or offense?
Like,
either.
at any point.
Yeah.
There's just, like, random times where he does things that it's like, okay, if the ref doesn't call this a foul, then they're not even paying attention because it's obviously a foul. You're doing something very stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you even thinking at this point?
It's almost like he gets in his head where if he doesn't get a call on one end, or, like, whatever, he makes a bad play, like, he just, like, is, like, instantly in his head, he's, like, got this rage, and then he's like, I gotta go take it out.
Yeah, he just, like, lunges at the guy that he's guarding, or just, like, completely puts his hands all over him. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, it's like an obvious...
It's
an obvious call.
You don't have these just, like, fouls to give.
No.
You will never have them because there are other times where you get 2 fouls in 3 possessions, and now it's like, all right, well, now you have 3 fouls.
Yeah. So, and I do think, I will say this, the nice thing is with him is Naz Reid is playing at a very high level and a very good level. I don't think he's necessarily Cat, but I do think he's playing at a high enough level where it's like, okay, if Cat does get in foul trouble, it's not a huge drop-off.
It's still a big...
Oh, it's still a drop-off, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's still a drop-off, but...
It's an issue.
Yeah, I think Naz Reid is less consistent than Cat is, so it makes it difficult.
But that's the difference between a team that's pretty good and can make a run, and then the one that can, like, fully win the NBA championship.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say...
Cat figuring that out.
Yeah, Cat figuring it out. I mean, I think, yeah, just gotta...
Just,
and the thing is, the thing about it is, it's different if he's playing good defense and he gets a few fouls. Okay. But they're just, every single foul, they're dumb, and then he puts his hands up. It's like, bro, you could hear the smack. You pushed him. Like, literally pushed him. That's a foul. Like, I'm sorry. So if he can stay on the floor, he could stay without getting no foul trouble. Positive.
Okay.
Showed it in game 2. So we'll see.
My next one, Kyrie Irving.
Oh wow, technically hasn't even played yet.
Dominated the first round series. This bro is literally making every single shot that he takes when he is attacking the rim. He's just doing everything for the Mavericks. I mean, Luka didn't even really play that well in the first round, and they won 4-2 against the Clippers team that everybody was saying that's like one of the teams to compete with in the Western Conference for a long time.
Yeah.
So, Kyrie,
it's kind of like old Kyrie. When he
it
had to take over and he was the only guy. I mean, I think the difference with them is like it's Luka's team.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, oh, Kyrie's the second, but now it's
nobody's saying that it's Kyrie's team. He knows that he's the secondary guy. He can bring it and like fully get it going if Luka's struggling, but like there isn't any confusion on that.
No. I think it's nice to have that one too. I think, and we've talked about this all last episode, the difference with them is who's going to be the 3. And I think this series with the Thunder will be very interesting because I think they could potentially upset the Thunder and make it a close series.
Who are you saying?
I'm saying the Thunder still.
Really?
Yeah. And I think it's 6 or 7 though.
I'll take the Mavericks.
No, I'm not betting on that. I've already lost because the Clippers. I will say this.
Hey,
if I would have known,
a lot of L's, baby.
Pause. If I would have known that the Clippers' best player, Paul George, had a comment where he just said, "We work really hard, but if we lose, we lose." That's the worst mindset for your best player to have in the whole world. You work hard so you don't lose. You're getting paid $40 million. We're not out here to have fun. There's no fun. So, I will say that. My last guy who is absolutely just balling right now, I think he's on a different planet, is obviously Jalen Brunson. We've talked about him off air. I mean, what is that, 4 straight games, 40 points? They win the series against Philly. They're now playing in Indiana. They don't even have Julius Randle, arguably their second best player. Mm-hmm. He is literally taking over, and it seems like he always seems to start not necessarily the greatest, but when it comes time, the mid-range little pull-up jump shot, money every single time. And you can't guard him.
Well,
he seems like he's unguardable.
It is easy to score more points when you're literally playing the whole game.
True.
And another layer of that would be when you're playing the Pacers, who don't play any defense.
It's very true.
So a lot of things are working in his
favor. But I would even say the first series too. I would say Philly, he kind of balled out. And Philly's decent. Made him work a little bit. Those games were close. I think the thing will fatigue play a part when it comes down to it, because he is playing 40 to 45 minutes a game.
Yeah.
And so if you win this series and you got to go up against the Celtics, oof.
I mean,
scary.
It's not going to be great. I don't think it's going to be great either way, but
I'll also say, did you see the game? Their first game, by chance?
Against the Pacers?
Yeah.
I did watch some of it, yes.
God. I'm not trying to sound off, and I get potentially it's a moving screen, but to call it in that situation.
Moving screen is tough.
Dude, just hold the whistle.
I don't think that you've ever seen a moving screen call
in
when
NBA?
It was kind of close.
That was actually kind of close, which was crazy. Like he was set, but he kind of moved. But then the reasoning was
you've seen way worse,
100%.
Literally in almost every single NBA game ever.
Dude,
that weren't called.
100%. The beginning of the games, and we've said this before. The beginning of the games, when you watch these people set picks, they literally just grab the guy and they move him.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, I get it, but keep the whistle. And it's actually interesting. I was listening to Pat McAfee's show, and they had Austin Rivers on there, and he was saying he wasn't directly saying that the refs on that game, but what he was saying is sometimes what's hard is what happens is the crowd's into it. We're all humans. Sometimes that plays a part, and our emotions play the best of us. And I was like, it's probably very true when you have a bunch of screaming fans at you, but you can't call that. Like, yes, DiVincenzo acted, but come on.
Yeah,
that decided the game.
Maybe not just that one, but
not. But you have the ball, you have the possession. It's like I get it.
It didn't help.
Yeah, so we'll see. That could be a fun series.
The Pacers next series
could be. Could be. So we'll see. You have another guy? I have a guy who needs to step up, and you've already mentioned him.
Who's that?
Halliburton. He stunk.
Yeah.
He can't shoot anymore. Granted, yes, he can pass, but he cannot shoot.
Could he ever really shoot?
He was in the 3-point contest, wasn't he? He'd have been a decent shooter if he was in the 3-point contest.
Was he in the 3-point contest?
I thought he was in the 3-point contest like this last year.
I can't remember.
He just, like, I get your average the most assists, great, almost 10 assists a game, but, like, bruh, you gotta be able to put what do they say?
Put the
something in the back. What is the saying?
Put the
bread in the basket? No. What is the saying? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, kind of, but I can't think of it.
Yeah, I can't think of it either.
Put the honey in the ham.
What? The honey in the ham? I like that.
Put the bee in the hive. That's not it.
Put something in the same basket. No, come on. Put the lotion in the basket?
What are you?
I was searching.
This is a work computer, David.
Oh, that was nothing wrong.
Put the lotion in the basket?
That was one of the options. I didn't click on it, so it doesn't matter.
Good thing.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I think Tyrese Halliburton needs to step it up. I mean, it would be, if you can steal one in New York, that would be huge. But you can't get 6 points a game from your point guard that's going to play 35 minutes. Sorry.
That's right.
So
we said it in the first series. Still doing it this series.
It's wild to me.
Yeah, I really don't. Jamal Murray has to pick it up, but maybe next
probably
year.
Should be suspended, right?
I think that he probably should be.
That's a little far.
Yeah.
That's like injury prone.
But
I get they were saying something. I get it where it's like, okay, if the Nuggets don't have Jamal Murray, get the series. I hate to say the series is over, but it's pretty much over.
If he doesn't play, for sure.
So, I get it for TV. I get it for whatever. But also at the same time, what that was the dumbest thing you could have done.
So dumb.
And I get you're upset. And here's the reality. What's fun to watch now with this Timberwolves team is they're starting to piss off these superstar players. They did it to Booker. They did it to all these guys.
You think there's something in the water at Kentucky? Soft?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, Cat's from Kentucky. Is Cat soft? Yes, he is, Chris. The answer is yes. You can answer. So yes, I do think there's something in the water, but I also think at the same time, I think what happens, and we talked about this before, is nobody plays defense the whole year during the regular season. So you get these easy buckets, you get whatever. People aren't picking you up full court consistently in the beginning of the year.
Yep. So
now you got a team who brings in reserves, and the reserves are playing just as hard a defense as the starters.
Yep.
And so you're just getting, and the reality is, you're making the refs also make calls, but you're playing physical the entire game. So it's like, sure, if the refs want to make those calls, sure. But in the reality is they're not going to call every single thing, and you're just bugging him, and he gets pissed. I still don't think there's no place to throw something on the court.
Right.
Grow up.
Yeah. The best line was when they were saying that he was looking over at the table, saying something to, who was it, Reggie Miller and
the announcers?
Yeah. And then they were like, and now he's looking into the stands looking for his dad to complain about the calls. I was like, bro, what are we doing? Is this 4th grade club basketball?
I think it is. I think here's the reality.
Save me. These refs aren't calling fouls for me.
I think it is crazy where it's like, even in the first series, Devin Booker did a very similar thing where it was like every play was called. I'm glad
it wasn't so known that he was looking for his dad to complain about no fouls.
Yeah, it's like who did that in women's? Caitlin Clark did the first game. Did you see those clips against Holy Cross? And her dad was like, "Shut up and play."
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's like, dude, come on. It's like what's funny to me is all these guys now, are looking at it and they're like, guys, you guys are the reigning champs. Grow up.
Right.
Sack up and dude.
Yeah.
You guys are arguing every single call, and the difference is what's happening is similar to things that happen with the Suns. Is you're arguing and the Timberwolves are just going.
Right.
And we got fast breaks. We got all this stuff.
100%.
It's like, dude, and in reality, was there a few? And also, there was probably a few that they missed, sure. But also, your head coach Malone cannot run out on the court and yell at the ref from this close
Yeah.
during a timeout. Tee him up.
True.
Get him out of here. This is a family-friendly thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not really anymore, but
Yeah.
so I don't know. It'll be interesting. I think
All right, make your picks right now.
for what?
All the games, all the series left in the NBA Finals.
Okay, Celtics.
Okay.
Do you want me number of games as well? Celtics in 4. Timberwolves in. Oh God, I don't want to jinx anything. Timberwolves. I'm just saying Timberwolves.
Okay. We'll let you do that for the Wolves.
Wolves. I did say I would take the Thunder. Thunder in 7. Knicks in 5.
Okay.
Nah, I don't like the Knicks pick. I don't like the Knicks, but that's mine. Do you have any different? Would you take the Mavericks?
So I'm going Celtics 4, Knicks in 6,
Okay.
Mavericks in 5,
Whoa, 5?
and Wolves.
Wolves.
Okay.
5.
And then Wolves, Celtics.
That'll be an interesting. That'll be a fun series. I mean, the reality is the Goliath is the Celtics.
Yes. But I think the Mavericks are, they're just like, they haven't played to their full potential yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Thunder are going to be the ones that catch that wave. And they're like, oh crap. Like, the Mavericks are pretty good.
Do you think the Mavericks have enough to make it to the finals?
To the NBA Finals?
NBA Finals.
I think it'll be harder for them against the Wolves.
Yeah. Or even
Even the Nuggets. Like, I think that, I think, what did I say that last week? Or the week before?
Whoever won our series.
We
agreed on that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty.
Would go to the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
And I was hopeful that it would be us, but I didn't know. So
100%.
I'm still hopeful.
No, still hopeful and still. I mean, I think the Celtics could walk through whoever they.
You all know what's funny is, obviously we're 2 Wolves fans here. Yesterday during the game was the first time up to this point where I actually let myself think like, holy crap, we actually might win the whole NBA championship. Like, I've been cautiously optimistic and not trying to get like too excited.
Yeah.
But yesterday during the game, that was the first time where it was like, holy moly, like, there's actually a decent chance that it could happen.
Yeah. I think the reality comes in where it's like when you watch it, it's like, okay, our starters are good. We have a superstar, Anthony Edwards. We have a very good player, Cat. Rudy didn't even play. And then you have guys that come off the bench that just know their role and can play the role and are hitting these wide open shots. Like Na was hitting some threes, Nas Reed hit a few threes. And the reality though is when those guys come in, like I just said, like they know their role where it's like, hey, defense is the priority. And also
but
at the same time,
they can also make shots.
And they can make shots though. So it's a double positive.
Mm-hmm.
But the difference the hard part is even after the Suns series, I think all of us were like, okay, the Suns, I don't know if the whole big 3 necessarily stuff works as much anymore. But I do think at some point it's like, once we beat the Suns in 4, it was like, oh God, now we actually have to play Denver. We'll see what happens. But after these first 2 games, it's like...
Have you had that moment yet?
Of what? That we could win it all?
Of like, oh crap, we actually could win that.
I mean, I'll say this transparently. I think you're probably a way bigger T-Wolves fan than I'm a T-Wolves fan.
Okay.
But you're definitely a fanatic when it comes to T-Wolves.
Gotcha.
Like, this is your sport.
Yeah.
But I would say watching that game last night, I was literally like, oh my God, like, knowing what we've gone through to get to this point, we are very good.
Yeah.
And like, when you're looking at it from a different point of view, like there's no holes.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no holes. So it's like, usually it's like, okay, we didn't have Ant before, like a few years ago when we did. So now Cat was relied on and Cat has a few things. It's like, no, Ant is a freaking dog and Ant can get to the hoop when Ant wants to get to the hoop.
Yeah.
It's different when you have to settle for jump shots because if you go cold, you go cold.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it's just a great point where it's like you look at the Nuggets from last year to this year, and I don't know if it makes a huge difference, but it's like you trade away a guy in Bruce Brown, you trade away a guy older guys, veteran guys, and now it's like Jamal Murray's having to be that older guy. Jokic is, and I don't know if Jokic is a very vocal guy. He also has 25 turnovers.
He has had a lot of turnovers.
I mean, that's just not him.
Yep.
And so it just kind of looks like it. And I do credit the Timberwolves defense a lot, but it's like even when we watch the Suns, it's like they can't even run plays.
No.
Like they can't run plays because you're playing full court. They already take up some time, and then next thing you know, they're trying to run a play, and it's like you can't run a play. You have 10 seconds left, and then someone's hucking up a shot.
Yeah.
So I think I think we have all the tools. I think we have. I don't know. I don't want, like I said, I don't want to sit here and jinx it or say anything else, but it's come to a point where it's like, maybe this is the team.
Maybe.
And here's the reality of it. What's great is this team also is like young and just loves to play basketball, so it's fun to watch.
Yeah, but if this year Nuggets tells you anything, every year,
Oh yeah,
there isn't it. It's not the same year to year.
no, but I think with a lot, I think guys get older. I think stuff like that, but I think the front office has the right idea, and Finch is a great coach, so it's like you have the right pieces.
There's potential.
There's definitely potential, and like I said, it's fun to watch, and so now you actually get fans excited, and it's a lot more fun to play, and so yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that Celtics series would be a series where it's like, holy moly, like.
All right, let's not get that far ahead of ourselves.
Well, I was just saying. I mean,
That's a long ways away.
potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got the pieces.
Yep.
Got the pieces. So, all right.
All right, y'all.
There it is.
Anything else? Anybody else?
That's all I got. That's all
All
I
right,
got. I mean,
We will see y'all
next week. Peace.